Welcome everyone to the Proven Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Church. I'm a music producer from Northeast Ohio. I began this weekly interview series to give you different perspectives from artists, producers, engineers, and other individuals in the music industry. In each episode, we touch on not only what has helped the person succeed, but we also touch on what has shaped them into the person that they are today. I hope you're able to gain some real proven knowledge from the show, and that it helps elevate you on your own journey to success as well. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 312 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today I welcomed a singer, songwriter, model, all-around artist, and creative Stella Nova to the show. I actually saw Stella Nova perform at the Canton Creatives Meetup in early April. I did not get to meet her that night, but seeing her perform definitely was a standout performance, and I was very excited to, get in touch with her, so I ended up reaching out to her on Instagram and just inviting her on the podcast. We were originally going to do this episode in person, but I wasn't able to get some of my podcast equipment ready for the interview. And so therefore we did it the traditional way over the phone, but it was still an amazing conversation today. She touched on moving from Cleveland to the Canton area around the time she was 13 years old, what art, modeling, and music mean to her, and specifically the start of her music journey, which happened a few years ago. And she talked about being able to perform at places like the Meetup, and also gave a really cool compare and contrast with the world of modeling versus the world of music as a performer, and what those two worlds look like as somebody that has experience in both. She's working on a brand new EP and has a lot of other exciting things planned for the rest of 2026. I'm very excited to be connected with Stella Nova, and I'm looking forward to being able to work with her and collaborate with her in different ways moving forward in the near future. And I want to thank her again for agreeing to do this, and I'm very excited to do a part 2 very soon as well, hopefully in person this time. So without further ado, let's get into this one. All right, so this is episode 312, here with an amazing Canton, Ohio-based artist, singer, songwriter, overall amazing creative, someone that I actually got to see perform about a month ago at the Canton Creatives Meetup in April. So Stella Nova, welcome to the show, and how are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you today?
I'm doing great, and thanks for taking time on a Sunday afternoon to join me. And we usually kind of have the guest give some brief background on, how did you get started in the music world? But obviously for you, you do a lot of different things as well. So just give us kind of a brief introduction of who you are and what you do.
Well, Stella Nova came to me, because obviously that's not my real name, but Stella Nova came to me about almost 2 years ago, actually. And I've always had a passion for music, but I never thought that I would be making it. It's just like a crazy full circle moment to me. But my real name is Tatiana. I'm 24 years old. I just had a birthday. I just turned 24. So I am from Cleveland, Ohio, but I currently reside in Canton, Ohio. I moved down here when I was 13 years old, and I've always had a passion for, like I said, music, arts, fashion, that type of thing. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a fashion designer or a marine biologist, but I can't fucking swim. So I was like, fashion design is my thing. So, just everything that I do, it's more so just, I feel like it's a part of a collective consciousness. Like this isn't really like for me. I feel like it's for the people that isn't able to express themselves in a way that makes sense to them, and they're just like being authentic to themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm a jack of all trades, honestly. I don't really like to put myself in a box like, oh, I do just this or I do just that. I like to immerse myself in pretty much anything that I can. And if I don't really like it, then I just won't do it. But if I have a heart for it, then I'm going to continue to, obviously do it. So I've been making music not for very long, surprisingly. Like I said, I started my music journey back in 2022, but I've always been into like poetry and English and that type of thing, because English was my favorite subject in school, and I love writing and reading books and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got to my songwriting journey and making music and stuff. I was going through a pretty rough breakup at the time. So I was like, I need to find an outlet to express myself. And that's how pretty much I got here, honestly. And I've met so many amazing people along the way, and I'm still learning. So I'm always a student and always open to see, what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Very multifaceted, which I definitely admire as well. And I think that's going to be cool to see where that kind of branches off into in the future as well, because that could lead to so many other opportunities moving forward. And as far as the music goes, you mentioned it's only been a few years. And firstly, I want to say, doing it from going from such a hard experience of a breakup and kind of having that be the fuel and the inspiration is a huge thing, because that gives you your why, that gives you the real reason why you're doing it. And then from there, the experiences you're putting into the music, they'll help other people in that way. So I want to commend you on that firstly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
You.
Absolutely. And then I kind of want to go into, obviously, like I said, last month is when we got connected. Now, we didn't talk that night at the meetup, because
unfortunately, I wish I would have got to talk to you that night. But honestly, after I was done performing, I was kind of ready to go. It wasn't like nothing against like the event or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of people. It was just very congested, and I'm more of a like intimate setting type of person. But I was really there to just meet other creatives, like I said, and I did get to network with a few people. So I was just like, whenever we do the podcast, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I've been thinking about it, like, since we set the date up. Honestly, I'm just like, I know it's not going to be super complicated, but I was like, just thinking like what he's going to ask me. And that type of thing.
Well, so. I gotta say your performance definitely stood out, and that is one of the main reasons why I reached out to you specifically. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get to hear everybody's performance because of the audio in there. It was very interesting. Where I was like standing, it was kind of hard to hear everything because I wasn't toward the front. I was like toward where the entrance is on the side of the building, but I could hear everything you were performing very well, and that is one of the reasons it stood out to me. I guess I want to know, like, what led you to want to perform at that event specifically? Was it mostly for being able to meet people and network, or was it just for, you want to get out there more, start performing more, and start just letting people hear your sound and your style?
Yeah, so what's crazy is I had my very first performance. It was in 2024, and I performed at the Oracle. It was a Bring Your Song event. I'm pretty sure you've heard the Bring Your Song. So I was like, that was literally around the time I like went through that breakup and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm tired of being afraid, because usually I'm pretty reserved. I don't really like to be in super big settings and stuff. But I'm like, if I want to get myself out there and meet different people and like kind of just expect different results, because I think just the life that I was living before, it wasn't for me. I was living life for other people. So I used that event in particular for me to like get out of my comfort zone and get out of my own way. And the Canton Creatives, I love what they do for the community, because I'm one of those people that's like, there's really nothing going on in Canton, and like I've honestly been wanting to branch out to somewhere else, because it's just like sometimes the support don't always be there. But I'm realizing that like that's not always necessarily true. And like I said, putting myself out there was really one of the big things, because I'm like, I have stage fright. I don't like all these people looking at me, but I'm like, this is a part of like something higher than myself. So I'm like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm going to watch other people live my dream, So what made me perform at Canton Creatives, I just saw that they had the open mic and stuff, and I'm like, there's not really any open mics here, and I would love that, because like there's usually some in like Akron or Cleveland, but it would always be something with like, commuting there. So, it was just nice that it was here and it was home, and I was like, okay, like I'm just going to do it. And I have been working with a producer by Stu, and we haven't been working together for long, but he's really cool, and I think he's like what I needed. Like, it was just like that push, you know what I mean? And I was just like, I'm going to perform like this song this night. I released it the same day that I performed, and it was about my girlfriend and stuff. And I was like really hard on myself about this song. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's not coming together the way I wanted to, but I was just trying to have fun, because that's what it's all about, is just having fun and just being yourself. And yeah, that's what led me to doing that. And I honestly have no regrets, because like I said, I met you, and like now I have this like opportunity to like say all the things that's been like kind of sitting inside of me, and I'm like, it just needs to be let out in some way. So I'm just really very grateful, and I'm just so just like, wow, like this is like insane, like, you know, just being where I am right now, because I just never would have expected it, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great. Well, I wouldn't say it's great, but for me personally, when I go to events like that, I'm never the one performing, right? So I don't even know what it's like to be up on a stage in front of all the people. I get nervous enough just by going and being in public with all those people. I'm just like, this is overwhelming. But I view it the same way. It's like, it's almost like a necessary evil. You kind of have to do it, where it's like, you want to put yourself out there, start introducing yourself to new people, and just putting your name out there in general. So, you know, again, I want to say congrats on being able to do that and kind of let go of that fear and get through that, because obviously good things have been coming from being able to do that experience. And shout out to Canton Creatives as well, because I think they're doing a lot of awesome things.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that 1,000%. I actually met them whenever they were like first like getting out there and stuff like that, and they had took a picture of me and stuff and asking me what I did and all of that type of thing. And I was just like, I really love what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to see how it grows, because like I said, I'm not the only person that could say like Canton doesn't have much to do. And, you know, and it's just like, it's a lot of crime here, and I mean, it's crime everywhere, but you know, it's just like when it's like you live in a small town and stuff, people are prone into getting into a lot more trouble. So I was like, what you guys are doing is groundbreaking, and it's really like they just like burst through the door and was like, yeah, we're here. You know, we're not going to let the talented like people of Canton go unnoticed. And even if you don't live in Canton, you just live in a surrounding area, it just gives people kind of like a catapult to, you know, just be whatever they want to be, and they're just like 1,000% supportive, and it just means a lot, because like support will really get people far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's crazy that was like the first event that they've done like that, of that nature. So it's going to be very exciting to see what they do. And they were already getting people to come from Akron, Cleveland, like you said, in the surrounding areas. Even myself, I live more toward Alliance. I don't live like directly in Canton. So it's great to be, it's great to be able to kind of connect with, you know, creatives in Canton and kind of get together and do great things and push each other's work, which is the best thing we can do. And I guess all of this kind of leads me into another question that I had, specifically about the contrast between the contrast between the modeling world and the music world for you, because you have the experience now of doing both, and you do runway shows, you do all kinds of different things as well. What is the difference between the two? And I guess, what are the ways that they are similar as well in your eyes?
That is such a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before. I think what makes it very similar to me is the networking and just connecting with creatives, because I think we all have creativity inside of ourselves. Like, some people can be like, oh, I'm not super creative, you know, that's just not my thing. But to be honest with you, like, all of us have creativity. We just all express it in a different way. And I feel like for me, it's always about being yourself and being authentic. Those are like my main things that like I live by every single day. It's just being myself. And hopefully, you know, with me being myself, I will attract the same like-minded people. I feel like with the music industry, like I was saying earlier, I never really wanted to be a part of the music industry, because I think there's so many negatives about the music industry that it kind of like sometimes it overshadows the good and stuff like that. But I think it's about telling a story, essentially, and really just doing what makes sense to you, and always having your inspirations, but making sure that you're just like staying true to yourself and not letting anyone or anything get in the way of what you believe in. I honestly feel like I guess the contrast, like I said, is definitely networking and really just I don't know. I feel like everything I said pretty much like summed it all. I don't know why I'm thinking of more to say, pretty much.
Well, this is a good kind of
yeah.
This is a good sidebar though, because earlier you said that when you were performing at the meetup, right? You were one of your fears was that a lot of people are there, like staring at you performing. What is the difference between that and like you're on a runway in front of everyone looking at what you're wearing? Is there a difference there? Like, what's the different feeling?
I guess the different feeling is, I feel like it's very similar, but I feel like, all right, so when you're on a runway, you're modeling someone's like idea and someone's storyline. And then when you're performing, it's like you are like, and then plus I'm not singing on the runway.
Yeah.
You know, so like no one can hear my voice unless like they have a concept or something like that will align with that. And then it's like when I'm on stage, it's like, oh, like I'm actually speaking, like I'm singing, like this is like what's inside, and it's just like I'm like pushing that out to so many different type of people. I don't know who's going to be in a room. It could be somebody big. It could be somebody that can push me into like the rooms that I actually want to be in. So it's just like very nervous to me because it's like I think when I'm like so used to hearing my voice all the time, I'm like, that doesn't sound good. That sounds freaking terrible. And then when I put out a song or like I am singing, people are like, you sound really amazing. So I think it's just about perception and really just understanding that it's like, it really just be all in your head, honestly. Like, I am an overthinker and perfectionist, and I really overthink so much that it like leads me to paralyzation. That's what like I'm like, yeah, no, I cannot continue to live my life like this, especially as a creative. You know what I mean? Because like I'm pretty sure you've had experiences where you sat on ideas or you know like you were overthinking something and you let it get to you so much that you didn't put it out. And I feel like that's like a huge struggle that creatives have. And it's just like, we cannot let that fear or this like big hurdle that doesn't exist get in the way of that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just getting more and more out of my own way. It's just like, the more that you do it, it's just, it becomes like a part of you. It's like learning to ride a bike, you know, or like learning to drive, you know, it's just something that sticks with you. You know?
Wanted to take a quick minute out of today's episode to let you guys know of a way that you can support the show, a way that you can donate some funds to us, starting at as little as $5 or more via our Ko-fi page. Now, we've been using Ko-fi now for a few years, and it's been a very effective way to generate some funds that we end up using for, you know, future guests, sponsors, just an overall way to keep this show as quality as it has been for the last several years, and we always appreciate any and all contributions. So if you go to ko-fi.com/The Proven Knowledge Podcast, that's ko-fi.com/The Proven Knowledge Podcast, you can donate, like I said, $5 or more. You know, it gives you that option to do 10, 20, 30, or just type in whatever amount. Any contributions are appreciated, and you know I do this show from the bottom of my heart for the love of it at the end of the day, but those funds are always welcome because they do allow us to do more and be more flexible with how we continue to grow this platform in the future. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. The link will be in the description of the show notes of this episode you're listening to now, so definitely check it out. But without further ado, let's get back into the episode. Everything, it kind of becomes second nature after a long time of doing it, like you just said. So I appreciate you for answering that. I had to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit because I was like, you would probably be one of the only people that would have both experiences. So it's great to kind of hear that is, and that's kind of what I thought you would say, honestly, is like the difference is, you know, you are expressing your lyrics and what you wrote out word to the audience as opposed to, you know, you're presenting somebody else's work in that way. So it's definitely interesting because, like I said, I have no experience with any of that stuff. So it's great to kind of hear that.
And it's so interesting. Like, I mean, there obviously might be like other models that, you know, might make music and stuff out here, but all of this is like completely new territory to me. I'm just like, whoa, like this was like, cause like I believe in like manifestation and just really just believing in yourself. I have notes all over my wall, like just like believe in you, like stay true to yourself, like vision boards, all of it. And like this is what I wanted. So like I had to do the work, and I had to really push myself to the, like, I don't want to say to the limit, but kind of to the limit, to really just get out of my own way, and really just, I don't know, because it's just like I want to really pave the way for other people that wants to do the same thing that I'm doing in the future. Like, this isn't just for right now. Like, I'm trying to, because like, I don't know, I feel like there's like going to be, or currently is, like a renaissance almost. And like, I really just want to inspire up and coming creatives that struggle with being in their own way or being perfectionist or whatever it is. Like, I just want, you know, whatever type of creative you are, is just like to really just be authentic and, you know, push boundaries, like do different things, because that's what the world needs to see. You know, like, I'm tired of seeing the same old thing. You know, I just want to see everybody just doing whatever it is that they want to do and expressing their happiness in a way that makes sense to them. You know?
And I think that also goes back to what we were talking about earlier with overcoming that fear of whatever it is and just kind of getting over those hurdles that are in our own minds. And then from there, we can do things a lot more easily, which is definitely awesome. Before we get into the last few questions here, I did want to know, you know, what is coming up that you're working on? It could be music, could be anything else that you want to let people know about that we could be on the lookout for, maybe for the second half of the year, since we're almost halfway through 2026.
Yeah, I can't believe it, honestly. Like, I cannot believe, like, we're halfway through it already. But I do... I'm not gonna like say too much, but I'll give y'all a little taste of what I got going on. I'm currently working on my first EP. I'm really excited for this because I've been wanting to release an EP for a minute now, but I'm like, I kind of want to let people know who I am. Like, all right, this is like kind of like my story. This is what I gotta say. And then whenever I release my first body of work, like, I want people to hear my sound, because I have so many ideas and inspirations and stuff. It's just like trying to find that outlet, or, you know, like that story that makes sense. And plus, it's like my first EP ever. So I'm just like, I want to let people into like what resides in my world and, you know, what resides in my brain and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really just on the lookout for just different opportunities. I would love to be, well, actually, I'm going to be in more shows. I'm currently, like, I can't say too much because I signed a little, like a contract with this modeling company. Well, it's not really a modeling company, but they do fashion shows and stuff, and I was a part of their show and stuff, so I can't say too much. But there is something coming next month, and I will be a part of a show. It's going to be for First Friday, so be on the lookout for that. It's for the Chalk It Up theme, so like that's really all I can say for right now. But it is coming in the next few weeks, so I'll be a part of that show. And yeah, I also got an email from like this really big like modeling thing, really great opportunity. It's not fully set in stone, but I'm just really looking forward to whatever happens on my modeling journey and also on my music too. I don't know where any of this stuff is going to take me, but it's like I keep the end result in my mind, but I try to make sure I'm having fun in the process. Like, I try to make sure that I'm just like living in a moment and just unplugging. I haven't really been on social media really too recently. Like, I'll, you know, get on here and I'll support my peers and stuff, but I get right off because I'm like, I have to lock in. I can't, you know, watch other people live their lives and I'm not living mine. So that's just what I'm working on. I do plan on having the EP out by like July. So we'll see how everything goes and stuff, because I have to go to the studio, talk to my producer about, the sounds that I'm going for and stuff like that. But I am working on new music, so expect that from me in the next couple of months.
Awesome. So a lot of exciting things are in the works. So again, congratulations on all of that. It's going to be very exciting to see it kind of unfold here over the next few months. And I totally agree with you about kind of having to block things out and turn the blinders on, really, and just stay laser focused on your goals and what you're doing. And I think everybody can kind of relate to that in their own way, especially where we're at now with just so many different things happening all around us. It's good to kind of stay focused and just kind of keep moving, keep things going.
Bro, staying focused is so important as a creative, because it's like, just people like Michael Jackson or like Tyler the Creator or like Kanye or Marilyn Monroe, like all of those people, what they share in common is that they wasn't consuming a lot of media, and obviously social media wasn't like as big as it is now, but they stayed focused. They stayed true to themselves. They took breaks. They, lived life, and I'm just trying to make sure that I live my life, and I'm, going outside in nature, and like I'm checking in with myself, making sure my health is okay, making sure I spend time with my family and things like that, because like we tend to forget to do that. It's just like everyone just wants us to be so distracted and kind of far away from ourselves that we forget and neglect parts of ourselves that needs to be watered, So I'm just trying to make sure that I just live my life, and I'm making sure that I'm making time for, my peers, my friends, like making sure I support everyone, because I know this is like about me and stuff right now, but I saw what you're doing with Elijah, and I'm really excited to hear that, because I've been wanting to work with Elijah for a hot minute, and I've been wanting to make some songs with him for a minute, and it's like things just it's always something that be getting in the way, but we're going to work together. So I'm really excited, and I don't know, I like to support all my people, because we all trying to make it, we all trying to make it somewhere, we all got stories to tell, and it's just important, if you want to make it, that you support the people around you. They can support you.
For sure. For sure. Well, on that topic of Elijah and myself, I'll have something to tell you after we're done with the interview that might actually be pretty important in regards to that. But speaking of life-related stuff, we're down to the last few questions here, and these are ones I ask on every single episode. The first one is, if you could go back 10 years ago, give yourself any piece of advice, or maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you would do?
So if I could go back 10 years and I could like redo anything?
Or not change anything. It's up to you.
Honestly, I want to say I wouldn't change anything, because I think if I change something, like I would say, like, I'll kind of answer that question in a weird way. So if I did want to change something, I'd probably change me being like so worried by everyone, because I used to get bullied a lot when I was a kid, and it kind of really messed with my self-esteem, and it made me like feel kind of out of my body, like I wasn't meant to exist or something. I'm just like, why am I here? Like as a kid, I'm like, why am I in this meat bag like right now? Like I just don't understand none of this, and I'm like, maybe I'll understand more when I'm older, and I'm just like, maybe I just wish I would have stopped listening to everyone and not letting like the bullies or anybody else in my family get to me, because I probably would have made it like I don't know, I probably would have had a whole completely like thought perception of myself. But honestly, I wouldn't change a thing, because I'm really grateful for where I'm at right now. Like all the experiences I lived up to prior to this point, it's led me to where I am right now. And honestly, I'm really grateful, because, I feel like the people that really make it, they go through like some shit for real. And it's not always so glamorous. So honestly, like to calm it all down, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm just really grateful for where I'm at right now. And I'm not who I was 10 years ago. And I'm very grateful for that. And I think my inner child, like, that version of myself 10 years ago is so proud of me. And, like, she can't believe all the things that I'm doing right now. Like, she's just like, what? Like, this is insane, you know? And it's just, like, sometimes it's like, nothing crazy. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's great to look back and be proud of the growth, personally. I definitely can relate to that myself as well. And then we usually flip that question and we say 10 years from now, and obviously you kind of gave us an insight on what you're working on here. 10 years from now, where do you think you want to see yourself in the art world, in music, in life in general?
Honestly, I really see myself, like, I really want to be a mentor for the youth. I feel like the youth really needs that. They need that inspiration. I don't think the youth has anybody to look up to nowadays. And I really want to be that example for the young Black girls, you know, for the young, like, just anybody, honestly, you know, but representation matters. And I really didn't see much of that growing up. So I just want the kids to have something to look forward to, you know, just self-expression. And, you know I keep saying be yourself, but, like, it's really being yourself, because, you know, a lot of these kids nowadays, they don't have no role models, you know? So, like, I think, obviously, I would love to see myself on a billboard, you know? I would love to, like, be, like, on Elf's catalog or Sephora's catalog. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, I would love to see more of my face everywhere. I would love to be in theater or Broadway or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I would just like to just be that light for other people. And doing more for my community, too. Because I think when people become successful, they forget to give back. And I always want to make sure that I'm giving back to my community and just putting, those seeds inside of them, just speaking life into them. That's what I want to do, because it's not just about, my career and the things that I want to do, you know what I mean? And yes, it is, but, like, I want to make sure I'm being a service to other people, because that's important.
And it's great to always remember that one day, the only thing we'll have left is whatever we put out there in the world. We'll be gone one day. So it's like, what are you going to leave behind for the next generation of people? And that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So awesome stuff there. And you have obviously been dropping a lot of wisdom throughout this episode, but do you have any final words of wisdom for the listeners before we get out of here?
I just want to say to anybody that's listening, even if you are listening to this, like, today, like, next week, next month, next year, whenever it is, I just want to let you know that you matter so much more than you put yourself out to be. I know that life can get a little hectic and scary sometimes, but I think if you just let yourself know that I'm here for a reason, I may not know what that reason is just yet, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I get to the root of it. And I'm making sure that I'm making time for things that's important. And also just, I just want to let y'all know that I love y'all. I know I may not know y'all or whatever it is, but, like, just, I want to let you guys know that you are loved and you have a place on this earth. So don't let anybody get in your ear about what you're not or what you could be and all the things that don't matter. Those are distractions to get you further away from yourself, and just making sure you prioritize what's important to you, even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. 100%. Very well said. And Stella Nova, thank you so much for stopping by today. Awesome discussion. Congrats on everything you're doing once again. And we already talked about doing a part 2. So if you're down, we'll do it eventually here. So
yes, we will. Thank you so much for having me. It was totally an honor. Can't wait to do this thing in person, though.
Yep.
Like, I'm really excited for that, because I always see myself on a podcast and stuff, like, with all the mics and everything, and I was like, what am I gonna wear? Like, but it's just cool.
Just want to say thank you for tuning in today. Be sure to hit that coffee link in the description of this episode if you'd like to donate any funds, and we'll see you back here with another new episode next week. As always, thank you for your support.